What's up, y'all? Today we have a little bit different video, and that is going to be on Wyze cameras, which is one of my favorite platforms to use for cameras. Now, here at SE Lock and Key, we are a locksmith company. We don't install cameras. This is just a kind of a personal video to point out the fact that in addition to your physical security, your locks, your well-installed strike plates, having an alarm system, and having cameras placed strategically throughout your premises is a good net. Having good security for your home or your business doesn't just rely on one thing. It relies on multiple things. And one of those is cameras to record evildoers or people that are up to no good. I bring this up today. I've had Wyze for about 1.5 years now. I started buying them about 1.5 years ago. This makes 9-10 cameras, I believe, that we have now. We've got about 5 or 6 in the shop, and we've got about 5 or 6 at home. We've got the pan cameras so that you can rotate and watch stuff. We had it up here for a while, but it wasn't working out. I've got several of the version 2 cameras. Then they came out with the version 3, which I highly recommend. Don't even bother with the version 2. Just buy the version 3. The best thing about these is, compared to other companies, is number one, they're extremely affordable. This is a $36 camera, either through their app or at Home Depot. And they just came out with the Wyze Cam Floodlight. I literally saw this video on YouTube yesterday. By the way, they make great videos. And I thought to myself, that answers one of my biggest problems. At our house, I had bought recently a version 3 Wyze Cam to put in our front windows so that I could watch our vehicles and get a recording of what was going on around the vehicles. However, it is at eye level, so if somebody pulled directly up behind my vehicles and broke into the very back of my vehicle, I may not get good footage. Now, one of the great things about Wyze cameras is you can kind of set them up to do certain things. So right now, while it's not great having that view, I've got my Wyze Cam version 3 on my driveway linked to our porch camera, which is a wireless camera, which doesn't quite work the same. These operate off of a SD card that's not included, so you have to buy it. You can buy one from Wyze. It's a 32 gig. You can buy a 64 gig. I don't think they really recommend you going over 128 gig, but the 32 gig that's from Wyze, it'll go back about 1.5 days. So with this and the card plugged into the wall, this is wired, by the way, you can go back about 1.5 days to see, 1.5 to 2 days to see what happened. If you put in a 64 gig card, you can go back about 2.5, 3 days. So I usually use the good cards, the same ones that I use for my GoPros, the SD SanDisk Extreme, to get the quickest refresh rate on them. And like I said, the problem with the latest thing that I have now, even though I've got it set with Cam Plus, which I'll talk about in just a minute, I can set a notification for this to go off, but I can also tell it to tell my porch camera to start recording. So if somebody pulled up in the driveway, it both sends me a notification that there is an event in the driveway, and it also turns on and starts recording my porch camera. I then added a third camera, which was the version 2, has a little bit less low light. You can see kind of the difference here. And I actually, when I first started buying these, I did a video that I never finished or got released. But trust me, I switched out all my version 2s with version 3s up here because we have so many color spectrums and cars driving by at night. It really was not great with the version 2. As soon as I put the version 3s in, there was a huge improvement in being able to see what was going on. However, this, again, is going to solve my problem because I've got a floodlight already on my house, on the front of my house. The only problem is it's like 15 feet in the air, so I've got to get on a sketchy ladder that I bought a long time ago to do roof work, and it's all wobbly, so I got to do electrical work on this scary ladder. However, an $80 floodlight, which includes a $36 camera, and has the ability to add another camera to it. The version 3s are waterproof, where the version 2s weren't. So these can be outside, however, they're still wired. It's difficult to get the wiring to some certain parts of the outside of your house. Now I can pull down my old it doesn't really work great anymore. I don't know if the bulbs are out or if it just died or what, but I have been needing a new floodlight. Now the floodlight will come on, the camera will kick on, cameras. I'm going to attach both of these together, and then maybe I can remove some of the other cameras that I have and shift them around, put them back in the backyard so that we'll have a backyard view too. You can get notifications based off noise. So also what we do is we set it to, if the dogs start barking in our house for some reason, one of our cameras will start recording, send us a notification, and see what the heck that they're barking about. Needless to say, I love Wyze cameras. Right now, I just saw the video on this literally yesterday. It's Wednesday today. Tuesday, I saw the video. I was like, I got to go buy one. I got on the app. It didn't show up on the app, and then I saw, hey, exclusively at Home Depot. So I ran to Home Depot and purchased these guys because I want them up this weekend. And yeah, I think this will solve all those problems, in addition to having a camera facing our counter. We've got a camera over here, as you can see there. So if somebody does something stupid at the counter, we've got it. As they're leaving, we've got a beautiful face shot of them around leaving, as well as two outside. This guy I want to raise up a little bit. It needs to come up here because it really only it doesn't get the view that I want. So I need to somehow, I kind of rigged that to sit right there, and I need to move it up. And then over here to get the opposite view, we have one. So once I get that floodlight up, I'm going to have a spare camera, because this camera sometimes can't see what's happening like right on the other side of my truck, because my truck view blocks it. I'll go ahead and put a screenshot of that up right here. But I want to put one probably down on the ground facing out, just so that I can get that side of the truck. But mainly this was just a thing to point out that if you may not install cameras, I don't install cameras. I don't install Wyze cameras. It's very easy to DIY. You can literally figure it out yourself. Everybody who I've told to purchase a Wyze camera, one of our customers who says they have problems, I say, go get Wyze. They love it. And I've not had one person say, I can't believe you told me to go buy those crap cameras, because everybody loves them. They're affordable, $36 for a camera, 10 extra bucks for a SD card. If you want to pay for the Cam Plus, what that does, okay, so you get free cloud recording up to 12 seconds, but there's this cooldown. So with the free, without having to pay for anything, it will record a 12-second clip, but then there's this cooldown, so it won't record again until that cooldown's up. It's like $15 or $18 a year, which breaks down to about $2 a month, which is very negligible per camera. I personally have 2 Cam Plus subscriptions for my driveway camera and for my porch camera. The neat thing about that is it's not stuck with one camera. If you have 5 cameras and you want to take your Plus subscription and maybe transfer it to another one, you open up your app and you go boop, 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 and bam, it moves it to another camera. You can move it 50 times a day if you want to. That'd be kind of ridiculous. The point of this video, though, is cameras or Wyze cameras are awesome. It's awesome that they have this floodlight, an $80 floodlight with a camera attached, and then add another $10. And then if I want the cloud recording, I can just boop and move it over to that. It's fantastic. They come with about a 4 or 5 foot wired cable. They are wired. These are. There is a wireless version that I use on my porch. At first I thought, I don't want a wireless camera because I'm going to be charging it up every other day. Not true. It lasts about 3 or 4 weeks. Just picking up, and it does pick up quite a few notifications a day. It's got a long battery life. I'm simply amazed by how long the battery life is on the wireless version. However, you can't do the one important thing that I want with that, nor can you with the doorbell version, is literally go back on the SD card and see what happened yesterday, unless it was an event. An event is if something happens, if one camera triggers another to record, if somebody at the motion tracking comes up and picks you up coming up. The little bit of a delay, when we initially had the wireless camera just on the porch, we would get the notification, but unfortunately, by the time we got the notification and opened the app, they were already up on our porch. And while we could go to the live view and sit there and talk to them, which is kind of hard, it's kind of hard to hear. If y'all talk to people through their cameras, you kind of have to, listen pretty close. Kind of hard to hear. These also have an alarm. If you click a button, an alarm will go off and which isn't that loud, but in an enclosed area, it would notify if somebody was breaking in here. I could hit both alarms, and they, in addition to our alarm that's going to be calling the police at the same time, I could hit the alarm. I could get on there and be like, yo, you were an idiot for breaking into this place. We're going to hunt you down and we're going to find you. But this latest announced thing, I guess, like I said, because I haven't done any other Wyze videos in the past, I just want to point out, physical security, locks, heavy-duty strike plates, security strips, good quality locks. I might go back and say good quality locks. Are important. However, an alarm system that will notify police if something happens is, and camera footage in the event that somebody does break into your house and gets away scot-free. At least you'll have camera footage of it. This is even great for offices because, like I said, the plug, even though you can get an extension cable for like $4, that'll give it like a 10-foot reach. If you have, say, a desk, like right here, going back to this one again, I've got a plug literally right there. But if I wanted to take this camera and say move it over to this side of the shop, maybe if I wanted to put it where the gnome was right there, I could plug in that extension cable, boop, it's like $4 through Wyze, and then I could, move it over there, but I don't need it there because I've got one up there. And for $4 for a micro SD extension cable that's like 8 foot long, is a ridiculously cheap price. That you can't buy that literally anywhere else. So yes, physical security is important. However, alarms, in our case, big dogs who will not tolerate anybody thinking about coming into our house if we're not there, and cameras are very important nowadays as a comprehensive security feature or system for your property, whether it be your house or your office or wherever. If you think somebody's coming in your office at night, you go buy a $36 camera and pop a $10 card in there, set up your notifications, and bam, you can get in there. And if somebody's in your office, you can actually go back on the loudspeaker and be like, hey, what are you doing? This is, you're being recorded right now. So I often tell people who have like smaller offices that it's a very good idea to spend the extra little bit of money, the $40, $50, whatever you want to consider it, to have the peace of mind knowing that you know what's going on from wherever you are. If I'm at home, something goes on up at the shop, I can jump on my cameras through the app and go and watch and see what's going on. I've caught people up here like leaning up against the glass of my window, which is one reason I want a bullhorn. I'm going to try to figure out how to rig a bullhorn up to these so that it'll scare the bejesus out of somebody. I've caught people out there littering and so forth and so on. So once again, just to point out, locksmithing, physical security is important. However, all the other layers, your monitored alarm system, which I might add, Wyze does have an option for a monitored alarm system as well. I hadn't really delved off into that. You can get moisture sensors. So if you are worried about somewhere in your house leaking, you can actually get these little sensors and put there. And with that home monitoring system, which again is extremely affordable per month, you can tell if there's a leak happening. Say if you were worried about your AC unit or your hot water heater or your toilet, just plop a little sensor there, and if it picks up the moisture, it alerts your home security system. That all falls under the home security thing that they just announced. But they also have light strips. I'm about to go drive to another Home Depot because this Home Depot didn't have any in stock, and we looked forever to find them. You know, those LED cool light strips that do backlighting. They've got vacuum cleaners, they've got earbuds, they've got like a robot vacuum cleaner. What else do they have? They sell thermometers, they sell masks, they sell the cameras, they sell the outdoor camera, the wireless outdoor cameras, the cam pan, which you can, in your app, you can make it turn and look up and down. So yeah, just wanted to do a video on Wyze because I've never really mentioned it before, but I do love the product. We're not being paid by Wyze by any means to do this. All of these were purchased with my own money for our security so that we can keep an eye on our dogs in the house, keep an eye on the outside of our house, keep an eye on the shop when we're not here from wherever we are. So anyway, if you have any questions or comments on this or any other things that I could help you with, I just, like I said, I highly recommend the platform. I may do a whole separate video because I've got to climb up a scary ladder and do a little bit of wiring on this guy. So I may do maybe a separate little video on that, showing some of the footage that I was able to get out of it. Here, I'm just going to put some clips in. It is starting to get dark outside, so right now, when I get done here, we're just going to do a few extra little clips of some of the outdoor cameras that I've got going on so that you can see what I can see when I need to be able to see when I'm not here. So anyway, here's those clips, and once again, check out Wyze.com. Great company, great company. I highly recommend them. Not getting paid for this at all. I just love the product. Otherwise, I wouldn't have number 9 and number 10. So anyway, thanks for watching. Let's check out all those other clips, and we'll catch y'all next video.